Saltah, a dish older than almost any border drawn across Arabia. From the mountain city of sah-NAH, the beating heart of the Yemeni highlands, where for centuries a clay pot has been set roaring over the fire and crowned with a pale cloud of hilbeh that never stops bubbling. They call it the national dish of the Yemeni table, and it is never quiet. It arrives still boiling, the stone pot too hot to touch, the hilbeh-foam trembling at the rim. Restaurants far from sah-NAH serve it tamed and lukewarm, but the old way is fierce, a stew that sings all the way to the table and asks only for torn bread and patient hands. This is a feast meant for sharing. Gather what the highlands give: lamb, ground and rich, potatoes, 3 of them, firm and waxy, 1 yellow onion, 4 cloves of garlic, ripe tomatoes, and a spoon of dark tomato paste, cumin, salt, black pepper, and the soul of the dish, dried fenugreek leaves for the HIL-beh. A little water, nothing more. Begin with the lamb. Set it in a heavy pan over a medium flame and let it brown slowly, breaking it into fine, soft crumbles. Listen. The fat renders, the edges catch and darken. Pour away what is too much and keep just a single spoonful behind. That 1 spoonful carries the whole dish. Now the onion, diced fine, and the garlic, 4 cloves, minced to almost nothing. Fold them into the warm lamb. Let them soften and turn clear, drinking up the rendered fat. The kitchen fills with that low, savory hum. Onion and garlic and meat, the foundation of every Yemeni pot. Stir in the tomato paste, dark and sweet, the chopped tomatoes, the cumin, the salt, the pepper, and a ½ cup of water. This is the marak, the simmering base. Let it cook 10 slow minutes until it thickens into something deep and structured. The sauce should hold its shape on the back of the spoon. Now the first gift of the fenugreek. Take half the dried leaves and crush them between your palms, right over the pot. Feel them break, the locked oils wake, and a green, almost bitter perfume rises through the steam. This is the scent of Yemeni kitchens. Fold it gently into the sauce. Slice the potatoes into thin, pale coins, no thicker than a breath. Lay half of them across the bottom of the dish, overlapping like shingles on an old roof. Spoon the lamb over them, every dark and savory bit. Then the rest of the potatoes on top, a second tiled layer, and the last of the crushed fenugreek scattered over. Cover it and let it bake, slow and patient, until the top turns golden and crisp at the edges. And while it bakes, whip the hilbeh, fenugreek, soaked long in water, beaten and beaten until it climbs into soft white peaks, a foam light as a cloud. Crown the dish with it and tear the warm malooga bread to scoop. Saltah did not begin in a palace. It rose from the working kitchens of sah-NAH, a way to stretch a little meat and many vegetables into a meal that warmed a whole family. The name itself points to the pot, the fierce, bubbling vessel that gives the dish its roar. Humble in its bones, generous in its heart. The old Yemeni cooks swore by a pot of carved stone that held the heat long after the fire was gone. They say a true Saltah must reach the table still boiling, loud enough to be heard before it is seen. The foam must dance, the broth must spit. A quiet Saltah, the grandmothers held, is no Saltah at all. And the hilbeh, the fenugreek foam, is the crown that sets it apart. Across the Yemeni highlands, no two cooks whip it quite the same. Some fold in green chilies and coriander. Some keep it plain and pale. But all agree on this: it must be light. It must be airy. It must float upon the stew, like the first cloud over sah-NAH at dawn. To eat SAL-tah is to eat together. One pot, set in the center, a stack of warm malooga, torn and shared by every hand at the table. There are no spoons in the old way, only bread and the bubbling stew and the company of those you love. It is the taste of a Yemeni afternoon, unhurried and whole. At last, lift the pot from the heat, still murmuring. Crown it with the pale HIL-beh-foam and let it spill and tremble down the sides. Set it in the middle of the table while it still sings, and tear the malooga to meet it. Saltah has fed the people of sah-NAH for longer than memory holds. It endures because it was never about wealth or ease, only fire and fenugreek and the warmth of a shared bowl. And the table, at last, is set.